Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So the president, with his COVID, is spending the weekend at Walter Reed Medical Center and actually did a drive-by of some of the supporters that had gathered outside, which was kind of cool. Some didn't like it. Of course, some don't like anything he does, so it's impossible to please everybody. But now everybody's all up in arms over the fact that he didn't disclose the first COVID positive test. Thursday, he took a test. Apparently, I'm guessing it was the rapid test, and that was positive. But he didn't say anything because they weren't sure. They didn't want to start proclaiming a false positive when they didn't have to. So he took the more extensive test, and that came out positive as well. And so that's when he announced it. Isn't that the prudent thing to do? Shouldn't he wait and be sure before panicking people? I mean, it affected the stock market. It affected world leaders. It's a big deal if the president of the United States gets COVID-19. So he wanted to be sure. So now the reports are kind of all over the place about his health. He was supposedly, his vitals were, I don't know, not in a good place, according to Mark Meadows. But the next 2 days were going to be critical. And then yesterday we heard he's doing so well, he might be released today.
Yeah, he's been tweeting up a storm this morning.
Has he already?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So he's up and at him.
Saying good things?
Yeah, just
Has he mentioned if he's going to get out today?
You know what? I didn't see that. It was mostly just campaign stuff. I will check that, but it was mostly like vote your 401k, just
401k.
General stuff like that.
That sounds like he's feeling pretty good.
It sure does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and he made several videos throughout the weekend from inside the hospital. So he looks
fine.
Much better than was reported, say, Friday night.
Yes. Yeah. Friday night, they sounded like he was doing kind of poorly. But I haven't seen any evidence of that. Then they showed him at the little signing photo op. They only happened 2 minutes apart. There were 2 signing photo ops that happened 10 minutes apart. So what? And? So he did one photo op, and then he did one 10 minutes later. So what?
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's so bizarre, the things they pick up on and run with to be upset about.
It is an obsession.
It's crazy.
It is so unhealthy because that whole photo thing you were talking about, oh my gosh, he took off his jacket.
Right, and then, either put it back on and then took it off or vice versa.
Went to another room.
And somebody was all pissed off at Ivanka for having him do that. I'm like, what?
It is.
Are you serious?
Truly a sickness.
It is. It's a mental disease. And it's so out of control. You talk about COVID-19 being a pandemic. The Trump hatred.
Yeah, the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
It is a thing, and it's worse, I think, as far as being widespread. Jeez, I mean, it's ludicrous, the hatred they have for him. Pelosi got into a little bit of hot water because I guess she said she was going to pray for him, but he should have taken better care of himself or something like that. And that was victim shaming.
Nice. I love it when you can flip their own garbage back on them.
I do too. And normally I wouldn't, come on, don't do the victim shaming. But since they do it all the time, yes, it's turnabout is fair play. Fine. Do the same thing back in their face. So you're going to victim shame him, huh? Oh, he's at fault for getting a terrible disease.
Well, I don't think he really even has COVID-19. Michael Moore doesn't think so.
Then there's that. And there's that big conspiracy theory. He doesn't even have it. This is just to deflect attention from the tax situation. Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right.
Yeah. What did he? I think Michael Moore said something about like he's trying to get sympathy. Are you kidding me?
Oh, who's he going to get sympathy from?
Right? Ever about anything?
Gosh. First of all, he doesn't need sympathy from the right. He's already, he's already got their support. And the left is certainly not going to give him any sympathy for getting COVID-19. All they're going to say is, you should have worn a mask.
Yeah, that's all they have been saying.
That's it. That's all they've got. You should have worn a mask. Why didn't you take it seriously? Is it a hoax now, Mr. President? Shut up. Shut up. So the TMZ photo. And headline is just despicable, too. Rose Garden Massacre. Super spreader event could put SCOTUS nom in jeopardy. Do we have the...
Yeah,
we have the screen.
there's a Rose
there
Garden.
it is.
Yeah.
There it is. And the headline is Super Spreader Event Could Put SCOTUS Nomination in Jeopardy. Rose Garden Massacre. Rose Garden Massacre? Good gosh.
Yeah, they're suggesting that Mike Lee, being that he's COVID-19 positive and heading up the committee, that could affect the timing. But then I saw something else that says, nope, they're full speed ahead for October 12th.
They can't delay it.
And that was the exact thing we said. Why are y'all waiting so long? And I remember when Mike Lee was on with Glenn Beck earlier last week or something like that. And he's like, hey,
it was last week.
Yeah, why are you guys waiting? Anything can happen in 2012, October 12th. Why are you guys waiting?
Right. And something did happen.
Ta-da!
He got COVID.
2020 strikes yet again.
It's crazy.
Because there's no margin for error. The way it's all, the dates, I don't have them here in front of me anymore, but it times out for October 29th for a full Senate vote. You have no margin
October 29th.
for
Jeez.
error.
Yeah, they've got to get it going. It must stay on track and on time.
And just do it over
must.
the computer the way you've been doing Comey and other hearings.
I don't think he's going to, but if he were to lose, then they are certainly going to scream and yell and kick and bite and scratch about doing the vote afterwards.
You got to get this thing done before November 3rd, man.
Absolutely. So in addition to President Trump testing positive for COVID, now we have Mike Lee, Chris Christie, Senator Ron Johnson. I wonder if, because Johnson and Lee were both on Glenn's show last week, did they get it from him down the phone line?
Or more importantly, did they send it to us? I mean, those uncaring jerks.
Right?
Telephonic.
Kellyanne Conway also has it. Her daughter has it. Apparently, she came on TikTok and talked about it. She's fun. She's a fun girl. Yeah. She's a joy to behold. Her parents have got to be proud of her.
So Amy Coney Barrett apparently had it this summer, if I heard correctly.
Did she? I'm not sure I heard that. Huh.
I'll double check
so
that.
She's already had it.
Yeah.
So she shouldn't be in jeopardy this time. Even though she was at the super spreader, the Rose Garden Massacre. She was there, but has already had it. So hopefully she's a little bit protected.
Yeah, she did have it. Yep, this summer.
Here's some of the drugs the president is taking right now. Regeneron, Remdesivir, zinc, vitamin D, famotidine.
Which apparently is Pepcid AC.
Famotidine?
Yes.
Is Pepcid AC?
I'm going to Google that. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. I heard that was a treatment. That is really weird. Why? Pepcid AC?
Yeah.
Because it's a, what is that? It's
acid blocker, right?
Yeah, it's an antacid. Huh. Melatonin, aspirin, and dexamethasone.
Sure, yeah, that
dexamethasone.
one. You know that one.
So he's on 8 different drugs, none of them hydroxychloroquine. Interesting. That's fascinating. Why? How come he's not on? Because he was taking, by his own admission, he was taking hydroxychloroquine a while ago. But apparently that's not part of it anymore.
Okay, so that dexamethasone steroid to treat inflammation.
Yeah. Now they said that's usually given to patients, and this might be where the more severe descriptions of how the president was doing over the weekend was because they gave him that. I guess it's a treatment when it's further along, but they might just be trying. Why wouldn't you give him a steroid now if that helps with the lung situation? Give it to him now so it doesn't get severe. I think that's what they're doing, actually. Because I don't know if you're not taking it long term, it's not going to steroid's not going to hurt you much, right?
Yeah, he made it a point to show that he was doing fine with those videos and that trip around the hospital to his supporters. That was a big shot in the arm yesterday, I think.
Yeah, he got into an SUV convoy and went driving around the street, around the corner. There he is, waving to supporters. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And, of course, that was terrible to do as well, as we found out.
Why?
That presidential SUV is not only bulletproof, but hermetically sealed against chemical attack. The risk of COVID-19 transmission inside is as high as it gets outside of medical procedures. The irresponsibility is astounding. My thoughts are with the Secret Service forced to play.
Wait a second. That's from a doctor.
Some doctor tweeted this out.
Okay, wait. Can you play
Dr.
that?
James Phillips.
And play that again, because let's take a closer look. As many Pat heads were pointing out, please take a close look here. The
Everybody's got masks on.
Everybody's got masks on.
Everybody in the vehicle.
So they're protected, right? That's what we've been told, that
That's
if
what
you're
we've been
wearing
told.
a mask,
And you're fine.
So
That's fine.
the patient, President Trump, is wearing a mask. The
Right.
Secret Service agents
Wearing
are wearing
masks.
masks. There should be no issue about
Even
it.
though this SUV is hermetically sealed.
So?
Okay, so...
I've been told that masks stop bullets, apparently.
Right. That's... So, Dr. James Phillips, are you saying masks don't work?
That's what he's saying.
Is that what you're saying? That's a good catch by Pat heads all over the place. Yeah. He was wearing a mask, and so were the agents. So what are you crying about?
You can't win, man.
You can't win. You just can't win. If you're Donald Trump, you cannot win with the left. But, of course, according to Michael Moore, he doesn't even have it. Michael Moore says Trump is, quote, lying about having COVID-19 to gain sympathy. Democrats, liberals, the media, and others have always been wrong to simply treat him as a buffoon and a dummy and a jackass. Yes, he is all those things. But he's also canny. Oh, he's canny?
This entire thing is a quote from Michael Moore, correct?
I'm sorry. Either you're a buffoon and a dummy or you're canny. You can't be all three. I'm sorry. No. He's clever. So he's clever and canny and a dummy and a buffoon.
Yeah.
That's bizarre, Michael. He outfoxed Comey. He outfoxed Mueller. He outfoxed 20 Republicans in the GOP primary and then did the same to the Democrats, winning the White House, receiving fewer votes than his opponent. He's an evil genius. Oh, now he is canny, clever, a genius, and a dummy and buffoon.
Wow.
Huh.
This is so
Wow. He's got these people so twisted up in knots.
Yes, exactly.
They can't even make sense.
That I think is Trump's biggest strength.
That's so great.
Is that the first time in my lifetime there is somebody that lives rent-free in the heads of liberals.
No kidding. Yes. Yes. and who plays their game better than they do.
I know.
I love it.
They've met their match, man.
He's an evil genius, and I raise the possibility of him lying about having COVID-19 to prepare us and counteract his game. He knows being sick tends to gain one's sympathy. He's not above weaponizing this. He's losing the election, and he knows it. It's not 2016. He was hated in 2016, but he's hated even more now. Millions of Americans are on fire and on the verge of serving him up a major league ass-whooping and a record landslide defeat. So he needs badly to totally change the conversation about this campaign. And he just has. Being the canny, clever genius who is also a dummy and a buffoon. It's a lot of stuff.
I mean, when you
It's a
say
lot
it
of
like
stuff.
that,
Yeah, I mean,
I think it hurts him, though, more than anything, right?
I think, yes. Having COVID-19?
Sure.
Yes, because of everything he said about it up to this point. And he's kind of tried to, minimize it so that there wasn't panic in the country. And he has shown up at an awful lot of places not wearing a mask, and that plays right into their mask hysteria. So that's all that he would accomplish, is for them to say, see, we told you should have been wearing a mask all this time, and you wouldn't. So, I think it hurts him more than it helps. Because whose sympathy is he going to gain? He's not going to gain anybody on the left.
Oh, no.
They don't care. Who was it that wished in fact, they came out and said they hope he dies.
So many.
I've got that. Oh, yeah, it's an Obama staffer who is also Hillary's national spokesperson. Her name is Zara Rahim, and she wrote on Twitter, I hope he dies. I mean, how despicable is that? Even Piers Morgan jumped in to comment on that, calling it shocking and shameful. Now, Piers had been a supporter of the president for a while and then kind of lost him seems like kind of not as much after COVID-19. He didn't like the way he was handling that. And now he's, they're so outrageous though. They tend to push you back toward him. Even if he lost you for a while, the left will push you right back toward him eventually. So that was the thought from Zara Rahim. I hope he dies. Isn't that beautiful? That's lovely. Thank you for your loving inclusion and your tolerance and just real beautiful sympathy on the left.
Yeah, but you're right. Piers Morgan called him out and just said, "You guys are no better than this man that you loathe."
Yeah.
If you're continuing to wish him ill.
All right. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about iTarget Pro. Innocent people are falling victim to crime right now, intimidation, and forced to fend for themselves because Democrats on the left are successfully defunding the police. When the government can't or won't protect your family, self-defense is the only option. Thankfully, we still do have that right in the United States of America, but most of us don't have time to consistently train. Plus, ammo is really expensive if you can even find it. I mean, you got to be standing there at Cabela's when the truck rolls in. And even then, you might be out of luck, depending on how long the line is. That's why iTarget Pro was invented. Using their proprietary app and laser bullet, you can now train safely in the convenience of your own home with your actual firearm. Because you don't have to use ammo. You use their laser bullet, which shows where your shots are landing on the target. And it comes in all major calibers from .223 to .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm you have. Today, you can also get 10% off plus free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. It's the smartest way for you to practice. You can do it right at home because, again, you're not using actual bullets. You're using a laser bullet, and it pays for itself in just a few days of practice. The letter I, then targetpro.com, itargetpro.com, offer code PAT.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. John Roberts. Remember how indignant he was last week asking Kayleigh McEnany about whether or not she or the president would finally condemn racism and white supremacy.
The Fox News guy, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is amazing because he was so pissed off that people were upset with him that he came back at him on Friday. So this was later on Friday. He had this to say.
The president didn't know who Proud Boys were, and Joe Biden just threw out the name. Mm-hmm. If he didn't know who they were, why did he denounce them? Why didn't he say, well, I don't know who they are?
He did say that, John. Maybe you should have been listening. He did say, I don't know who they are, but I condemn them. If you say if they're bad, I condemn them.
Can you give me a little bit more information about them and then make a decision about it? So this all remains very puzzling. And for all of you on Twitter who are hammering me for asking that question, I don't care. Because it's a question that needs to be asked. And clearly, the president's Republican colleagues a mile away from here are looking for an answer for it, too.
Well, John, clearly you do care.
No kidding.
Or you wouldn't sound like a petulant 3-year-old who was not invited to his best friend's birthday party. I don't care. I don't care. I didn't want to go anyway. I don't care. Surprised you didn't break into tears there. He almost did.
As soon as they turned the camera off, man, he was bawling.
I don't care. B, the question has already been asked and answered over and over and over again. He has denounced them multiple times. C, John, you should crawl back under whatever rock you crawled out from before you got to Fox. Go back. Was it CNN? Where was Roberts before?
Yeah.
ABC, CNN?
Sure. I'm pretty sure it was CNN.
I don't know.
I'll check it out here.
That is ridiculous. And let's just show how many times has Donald Trump condemned white supremacy?
Has he finally
done it? Up to this time. And he's finally done it now. In fact, John Costas John Costa tweeted it over the weekend. Trump has finally condemned white supremacists. Okay, so that was on October 1st. What is that, Friday?
Thursday.
No, Thursday.
Yep, because he was doing it he tweeted that out. Jim Acosta tweeted that out during the Hannity interview that Trump did by phone from the White House, and so Acosta says, look, he's finally condemned white supremacists. And then everyone on Twitter,
I guess he forgot.
Yeah, reminded Jim
check
Acosta.
His own stupid tweets.
Let's check in over 3 years ago.
2017.
Jim Acosta tweeted out,
Trump condemns KKK and white supremacists commenting on Charlottesville, racism is evil.
That's a quote from Trump. Racism is evil. According to Jim Acosta, I mean. What do these people want? Check your own timelines.
How would Jim Acosta know that Jim Acosta knew that Trump had already condemned white supremacy, 3 years ago? How would he know it? Oh, wait, he tweeted about it. That's how he knew it.
Oh, would he know?
So ridiculous. And here are a few other times when the president has condemned white supremacy, etc.
Okay.
Condemn white supremacy, the neo-Nazis. He hasn't condemned a darn thing.
You've got David Duke just joined.
Year 2000.
Bigot, a racist, a problem.
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure.
David Duke and robocalls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow.
David Duke?
There you go.
Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay?
When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavowed David Duke. So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Again.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
I reject David Duke, rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
And you want the supporters?
No, I don't want anything.
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
David Duke announced his Senate candidacy, claiming your agenda.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy no matter what it takes.
And I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuked.
Done.
Done.
Do you want white
this is
supremacists
amazing.
to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all.
His campaign is denouncing a show of support from the KKK's official newspaper, as in the Ku Klux Klan.
In the same New York Times interview, he denounced white supremacists. He denounced the neo-Nazis who support him.
Racism is evil. And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence.
Over and over and over, at least 17 times that we just saw there. What does it take? And on CNN, ABC, everybody knows it, Stephanopoulos, Wolf Blitzer, Chris Wallace, they all know he's done it. Why do they keep asking the question?
Check your own archives, people. But I'm just
You
wondering.
know they know.
Yeah.
You know they do.
When do you think he's finally going to
When are you going to finally condemn? Jeez. And it's to the point where even the Proud Boys are denouncing white supremacy. The leader, the Salt Lake City leader of Proud Boys and their organization, denounced white supremacy. Here he is doing that. Cut 3.
I will go out and say that the Proud Boys as a whole, I will say this on behalf of the entire national organization, denounce white supremacy. We are in no way, shape, or form white supremacists. We have a vetting system that just gets those guys out of our hair. We do not have anything to do with white supremacy. We do not have anything to do with the Ku Klux Klan. We denounce those organizations.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note the guy himself is not a white guy. So it would be tough to call them white supremacists, wouldn't it? When they've got a leader who isn't white. And by the way, do you have a still shot of the guy? Clearly, he's let himself go. He needs to go get a workout in.
What do you mean? Let's see the Proud Boys Salt Lake City.
The Proud Boys,
guy?
just give us a still shot of him. Look at that.
I mean,
dude.
A lot of Twinkies.
Sad. It's just sad how he's let himself go there.
I mean, look, at some point, you buy a shirt that's a size larger. Right?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I see what you're up to there, Proud Boy. He's proud. He's proud of his muscles.
Yep, he is.
Oh, my goodness.
Plus, they got together with BLM in Salt Lake City, and they did a joint press conference, and they said, look, we've come to agreement on a lot of things. We understand each other, and we can get along. It would be nice if we could all do that nationwide, not just in the Salt Lake City area. Let's all come together and maybe figure out that there's some common ground here. None of us want violence, hopefully.
By the way, over the weekend, part of the Trump thing was somebody else obsessed with Trump in the media was saying how, boy, he sure hasn't been tweeting a lot. I bet somebody else is running his account now. I think his situation is more serious than they're letting on. In the last hour, he's tweeted 18 times.
Jeez.
He is rocking and rolling there at Real Donald Trump this morning.
18 times.
So
wow,
encouraging people to vote, and it's all caps with exclamation marks. I'm pretty sure it's the president behind those tweets.
Pretty important too, to do that, to get out and vote. So I hope people heed his message there, because if they don't, we're going to be really sorry come November 5th. It's not going to be good. 888-900-3393. As if we're going to know on November 5th who's the winner.
November 3rd?
November 3rd, November 4th, November 5th. I don't 30th. Think we'll know for a couple of weeks afterwards.
March 2021. This is going to get ugly.
And let's see. According to...
What you got there?
This guy... Mike Ryan from the World Health Organization.
Oh, yeah. One of the WHO doctors has some new numbers on the coronavirus infection rates.
Yeah, 750 million people have been infected.
That's what they're
10%
estimating.
of the world's population.
They think that, we're up to 10% of the world's population has been
which is
infected.
0.0013% death rate then. If a million have died out of 750 million people, that's a really tiny death rate.
Oh,
that's a death rate that's much smaller than even the flu.
Oh.
Much smaller.
Light year small, yes. I swear, this is a fun ride we're on, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying now that they estimate 10% of the world's population has been infected with COVID-19. That's 750 million
Can we
people.
run with those numbers now? Because if we can run with those numbers, then you're looking at a non-frightening disease.
Is Trump still in office?
Yeah.
Then no, we cannot.
No, we can't. The more testing we do, the more people they find out have, in fact, been infected.
Yep.
And we're doing a lot of testing, and so are some of the other countries now. And everybody's kind of ramped it up. So... I think what they're finding is that, a lot of people get it. A lot of people get colds and flus, too. But
this would be the election year flu. So we're not going to get the accurate numbers ever.
No, that's right.
Ever.
That's right. And it's a real shame, too, because it is screwing up our society, and it's causing us all kinds of unanticipated...
Beyond repair.
A lot of consequences that... we may never take care of. It's amazing. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More coming up. Got some tweets here at Pat Unleashed. Alyssa tweets, most of the people I know who don't like the president are wishing death on him. When was the last time this was okay? Yeah, I can't think of a time, actually.
Welcome to 2020.
Daguerre Bear, Michael Moore, of course, accused the president of making up his COVID diagnosis. Never trust a fat socialist. It's like a skinny chef or a trainer with a beer belly. They don't know what they're talking about.
That's good.
Look fat, don't call me chief, tweets. So let me get this straight. The people that are hired to possibly take a bullet for the president, if the situation arises, are in danger, even though everyone in the vehicle had masks on. All righty then. From Coop 1, aren't virtually all racist groups Democrats? KKK, BLM, Planned Parenthood. Yes. As a matter of fact. That is pretty much the case, isn't it? Let's see. Pathead Cody Dunn, sent us a video of a young Joe Biden. Apparently, his struggle with the English language is not exactly new.
Not a new thing, huh?
No, it's not a new thing.
Okay.
This is an old video of him that might surprise you because it goes back a ways.
Okay. Goes a little something like this.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
The kid was proud of himself when he got through it. Yeah, Joe Biden, old footage of him as a kid.
Yeah. So, again, it's been happening for a while. Side note, G.J. Herman points out 2020.
Yeah, lots of people pointing this math problem out.
Divided by 666 equals 30330. Joe.
There you go. Yeah,
right.
that's
Is that
right.
true?
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
It's absolutely
what
true.
What do you mean, is it true?
Is it?
2020. You're doing it right now, aren't you?
I'm going to.
Type it in. 2020 divided by 666 equals 30330. Oh, you go to Joe.
Go to Joe.
30330.
All right, 2020.
You need I got a calculator over here.
Divided by.
Helps you.
All right.
He's gonna do it.
And that equals 30330. 330.
You got to stop it.
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go there and help him in the fight. Isn't that fascinating? 3.0330. If you just carry it to that decimal point. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How weird is that? How weird. That's an interesting coincidence, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. Sure it is. Wow.
Good stuff.
Also, another video from Joe here implying that he served in the military.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get to this last week. Check
this
out.
It has been confirmed by multiple sources. He thinks that those of us who sign up and put our country put our lives on the line are veterans, as I mentioned earlier.
Wait, what? Those of us? Did he just say those of us?
Yeah, they put our
who signed up and put our lives on the line?
Well, I mean, they're veterans, as I said earlier.
Wow.
It has been confirmed by multiple sources.
Okay.
He thinks that those of us who sign up and put our country put our lives on the line are veterans, as I mentioned earlier.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. Now, if that's Trump saying that, you would have no problem seeing that video. That's actually the first time I've seen that.
Yeah.
And he did it last week. Nobody's playing it.
No.
Nobody's playing that. Trying to steal valor? What do you mean, those of us? What? That is crazy. Then apparently Joe had a little trouble with numbers again.
Oh, over the weekend, yeah.
Over the weekend. Some number
Republican Senate
issues.
needs to step up and pass another economic relief package right away.
Right.
So painful cuts don't make this crisis worse. You may remember, John, when we went through this with the single most significant recession in American history, short of a depression.
Sure.
When Barack and I came into office, and we were inherited the Bush recession. I was asked to manage the
Soros.
Recovery Act, which was $80 billion. $800 billion.
Okay, 800 billion. No. 800 million billion trillion dollars. 800,000 million hundred
$30330. Seriously, I think incoherent Joe Biden as a kid made more sense than he does today.
Absolutely. Yeah. The kid is smarter than this.
That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings, and 2.something billion metric tons
like
of
I have no
CO2
idea
going in the
what
air.
I'm saying. No idea.
He has no idea.
I don't know what I'm saying at all now.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare.
And?
At the medical school, or not?
No,
I guess it
not.
wasn't actually on the campus.
Wasn't
but
at Dartmouth.
From the medical school, we're at
not the medical.
I want to be clear.
Okay, be clear.
I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was in Guatemala, El Salvador, and
Ecuador,
and Honduras. And say, look, well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion. $600 billion.
$600 billion.
$1.4 trillion.
$400 billion.
Out of $1 billion. $400
million.
Excuse me, $1.4 billion. It's hard to even say it so much.
Yeah, that's
and by
a lot.
the way, it costs a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion. Trillion dollars.
And
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak.
Okay.
It's taken more than 100 years. Look,
100 years. Wait,
the
look.
lives.
Look. It's incredible, man.
Yeah. More lives this year than any other year,
man,
for the past 100 years.
Dude, for the past 100 years. It's like 100 years of years.
Can we go back to that clip, just where he says, look, I'm not going crazy, or I'm not going nuts.
Yeah,
if you have to tell us that.
Yeah.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare. At the medical school, or not? I guess I wasn't actually on the campus.
I guess I wasn't.
People from the medical school were at the... I want to be clear.
Please.
I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it's a medical school or...
Well, he knows. He knows he's got a problem there. And he knows what's going to be said because he doesn't know where the hell he was, and he admits it. He doesn't know where he was. So he has to try to... He has to try to sort of alleviate the fact that he doesn't know where he was in people's minds by saying, I'm not going crazy, when they know he is.
He doesn't even know where he went to school.
Right. Delaware State. And Trump called him on that. And then he said he didn't say that. Where is the Delaware? Do we have the Delaware State thing?
I don't know.
See if we can find that. Because I can't remember. Was it a tweet or was it a video?
Oh, it was a video.
Yeah.
Where he's at a black college, Delaware State, where he talks about how he got his start there.
Yeah. Right.
And then during the debate, Trump called him out on that.
And he called Trump a liar. He said Trump was lying about that. No, I never said that. What do you mean you didn't say it? Yes, you did. Of course you said it. By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse is planning to... That's the kid in Kenosha who shot two people. And when you look at the video, there's an 11-minute, almost like a documentary that was done on that shooting.
After you click through the 403 disclaimers... from YouTube.
Yeah, it's hard to get to because they try to dissuade you from finding it. But once you see it, it's pretty convincing that the kid was defending himself.
Sure.
He was defending his life.
No question.
They were coming after him, and he shot them to save his own life. So an attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse, who is accused of killing two protesters, has announced plans to sue Joe Biden and his campaign for libel after he tweeted a video suggesting the Illinois teen is a white supremacist. Why is everybody who isn't for the rioting a white supremacist?
Isn't that interesting?
The Democratic presidential candidate wrote in his tweet, which contains the 50-second clip, "There's no other way to put it. The President of the United States refused to disavow white supremacists on the debate stage last night." The post refers to a question Fox News host Chris Wallace asked President Trump during the presidential debate about whether he was willing to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not to add to the violence in a number of those cities. The teen's lawyers have argued that he fired in self-defense. And again, when you see that video, I think you'll be convinced it was self-defense.
And we will shortly tweet out that video. So when you have 11 minutes later today, you will want to check that out.
It'll take you a few minutes to get to, so it might be a little more than 11 minutes. But
yeah.
if you jump through the hoops,
yeah, 10 of the
eventually
minutes
get there.
are clicking through the YouTube disclaimers.
Yes.
And then it's just a 1-minute video.
Wood told Fox News on Wednesday that he planned to sue the former vice president and his campaign on his client's behalf. As of Thursday morning, Biden's tweet had garnered more than 57,000 retweets and 177,000 likes. On behalf of Kyle Rittenhouse, I shall sue Joe Biden and Biden-Harris campaign for libel.
I love it.
That's what it's going to take. It's going to take some of these people losing some money, like CNN did to what's his face from, the Catholic school, Sandman, and people like Kyle Rittenhouse, who are not going to put up with the libel that they're getting from the likes of these left-wing candidates and the left-wing media, and they shouldn't put up with it. Maybe that will dissuade them from saying these kinds of things in the future. I doubt it, but maybe. By the way, nothing is off the table, according to the Democrats, if they get control. Chucky Schumer had some interesting things to say about everything that is still on the table if it comes to Joe Biden being elected president. Here's what he had to say.
They have ruined the Senate. We are using all the tactics we can to slow the thing down.
Would that include adding, if the Senate becomes a Democratic majority, adding D.C. and Puerto Rico as states and ending the filibuster?
I would, believe me, on D.C. and Puerto Rico, particularly if Puerto Rico votes for it. D.C. already has voted for it and wants it. I'd love to make them states.
Okay.
And as for the filibuster, I'm not busting my chops to become majority leader to do very little or nothing. We are going to get a whole lot done. And as I've said, everything
That's
is
scary.
on the table.
Everything is on the table, including making Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico states. You'd like to have a couple of really super liberal states added to the U.S., added to the Union. That's great.
And some of you kids who are younger may not recall the first 2 years of the Obama presidency, 2009 and 2010, when Democrats did have absolute power in D.C., all three branches. And they got stuff done.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Obamacare?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I have heard of
Yeah,
it.
that's just one of many things that, see, when Democrats have power,
they do something with it.
They sure do.
Because they don't give a rat's anus about the Republicans and how they feel and whether or not they're going to whine and complain about it. They don't care. And that's what he just said, really, because everything's on the table. Everything's on the table. Stacking the court, making extra liberal states part of the union. They're going to do everything they possibly can to ruin this country. They've been trying for a long time, and now they see that they're almost there.
They're right there.
To fully complete the fundamental transformation of the United States of America.
Yeah, and don't forget, Biden still, during the debate, did not say no when he was asked by Trump, are you going to stack the court? Are you going to?
He won't say no. No, because he intends to.
And what was Biden's stupid response was, what was an honest response? I don't want that to become the issue. Yeah, I bet you don't.
Right. Because you lose. What a weird thing for a presidential candidate to say. No, I'm not going to tell you my position because that people will talk about it then.
I mean, you want to be the president, man.
Yeah. We kind of need to know where you stand on that. If Amy Coney Barrett said that about everything when she's when she is going through the nomination process, what do you think they'd say? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that because that's all people will talk about if I say my position.
Yeah.
I'm not Roe v. Wade. I'm not going to talk about that because that'll become the whole issue.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about it. Okay. All right.
Just remember, when you go to vote, Joe Biden refuses to tell you if he would stack the court, fundamentally transform this branch of government, and he also refuses to reveal who would be on his list to be a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
Those are two pretty important things that we should probably clear up before submitting a vote for Joe.
Meanwhile, claiming a woman's right to choose is on the ballot this time. Well, no, it isn't, because it's not even before the court right now. What are you talking about? There's no Roe v. Wade challenge going on right now. So that's just a complete lie that it's on the ballot at all. But let's hear where you stand on that. Will you have a litmus test? And you know he will, but they won't ever say it. But they've got a litmus test for whether or not their nominee would be pro-abortion. Of course they will. You can't be Democrat. You can't be a Supreme Court nominee of a Democrat without being pro-abortion. And they know it. And it's been that way for a really long time. So on one side, you can't be against Roe v. Wade. And on the other side, you have to be for it. Have to be. As a condition of you being nominated. It's amazing that they get to have it both ways. 888-900-3393. Meanwhile, people who support President Trump continue to be discriminated against. We got an American cyclist who was suspended from cycling for posting a pro-Trump tweet.
Good stuff, man.
Quinn Simmons, he was the 2019 Junior Road Race World Champion, responded to a tweet posted by Jose Bean, a Dutch cyclist. In a statement, Simmons Cycling Team announced that they were suspending him until further notice. Regrettably, team rider Quinn Simmons made statements online that we feel are divisive, incendiary, and detrimental to the team, professional cycling, its fans, and the positive future we hope to create for the sport. He will not be racing for Trek Segafredo until further notice. So what happened? What was the horrible thing that he said? We'll tell you in just a minute. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. From Look Fat. We have Trump's already fired off 18 tweets this morning. It's more than that now.
Oh, yeah. I should probably get an updated count on that, huh?
Yeah, that was just in an hour.
Yeah, I'll go find out.
I'm guessing Biden is still tucked away in his jammies. Yeah, he said he doesn't even get up until 8.
And some days he calls it a day at 9.
At 9.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a fact.
Is there any question about who we'd want to answer the phone in the Oval Office at 3 a.m.? Not someone that can't get out of bed. That's right. Amy, what's-her-face tweets? I think the reason Biden struggles with numbers so much is because they represent an irrefutable truth that he's allergic to. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Richard S. Leitner tweets, Biden talking is a verbal version of someone trying to juggle for the first time, and the tennis balls all end up going all over the room. Reality check. Congratulations to the young man that is suing Biden and his campaign. The next step is suing every broadcaster that reports misleading information or lies. Let's see. We were talking about...
You were doing the cyclist thing.
The cyclist.
Yeah, who got kicked off his cycling team.
Incredible.
And the tweet, I mean, let's be honest, it was pretty egregious, don't you think?
Yes, I mean, it was.
I can't get behind someone
like
doing
this.
What he did.
No. I mean, it's despicable. Not only should the kid be suspended, and he already was, from his cycling team, but he should be put in prison.
Like what kind of prison?
Like a regular prison?
Just a regular prison? Not like a maximum security,
yes.
Solitary confinement?
Where you and a place where you got to go break rocks all day. So a hard labor prison would probably be more appropriate.
You're actually being kind of gentle.
Yeah, I was.
Because this is
and
really...
then I thought about it again for a minute.
This is worthy of execution.
Yeah.
But you're giving him
I'm giving him a chance
rock duty.
to continue to breathe at least.
And so what did he do that warrants such a harsh punishment, Pat?
Well, when Dutch journalist Jose Bean posted on Twitter that she hoped for her American friends that, quote, this horrible presidency ends... and if you follow me and support Trump, you can go, unquote. So what he did was, this young cyclist, 19 years old, he should know better.
What? Oh, gosh. What did he do?
He replied by writing, bye, with an emoji of a hand waving, but the hand was black.
He appropriated
dark skin.
the race of the hand.
He did. He used an emoji that did not represent his race.
Quinn Simmons, what are you thinking?
So obviously, he's got to go.
Gotta go.
Right?
Goodbye.
So then somebody said, apparently you're a Trumper, and he tweeted, that's right. That's right. And then he
tweeted, that's right?
He tweeted, that's right. But then he used an American flag emoji, too.
No, sir.
Yeah. And some users were offended by Simmons' use of the black hand emoji and the American flag emoji.
So he typed
Who can blame him? He typed
the word
bye and a hand wave.
And a hand wave. And then he did
the American flag, and that's right.
Said that's right.
So he said bye, and that's right.
Are you rethinking your light
he needs to
punishment?
die. He needs to die. He needs the death penalty.
I swear. What a world, man.
Unbelievable. How is this possible that you can suspend a person for something like this? Wow.
Well, how can you let him live? I think is the more appropriate question,
right.
Mr. Gray.
I mean, that is, wow.
We are in hell.
You can't even say to a Dutch reporter, okay, see you then.
Bye.
All right, yeah, I'm a supporter. I support our president. Sorry. No, you can't be sorry. Your life is just over. You might as well flush it down the toilet now at 19. Is that crazy?
He would have been given crap for just saying bye and admitting he was a Trump supporter.
That's why he's gone, not the black emoji.
Then you mix in the black emoji hand, and they think, oh, that's a cherry on top there.
Yes. Yep.
Madness, man.
Now you've appropriated the hand of a minority. It's online.
Wait, and somebody else, a pathead, I forgot what video it was. I don't even remember now. But it was one of these stupid BLM in your face at a restaurant video, and all these white people standing around doing the Black Power sign.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, so why are they allowed to appropriate the Black Power symbol?
Good
being
question.
That they're a bunch of pasty whitey standing around this restaurant in the
That's
face
a really good question. Is there an answer to it? There's really not, is there? Yes. I guess because they're supporting the cause. They love the cause. And the cause is all that matters.
Or the other answer is that we are in hell. is possibly.
That's possibly
the
it
answer.
too. Yeah, that could. I mean, that might have something to do with it. I'm not sure.
No, it's a fun year. It keeps getting more and more fun.
Mm-hmm. It does. We do have the Delaware State comment from Biden, where he was talking about the state, the institution that he started in college.
Yeah, the black college.
Yeah, he went to a predominantly black college.
I got started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay?
He got started at it.
They're my folks, but all kidding aside.
HBC.
The fact is that HBCUs are in trouble financially.
That's the fact. And he started there, and so they're near and dear to his heart. Historically Black College is what HBC stands for. And he went to one. Huh. Really?
And
in 62-ish?
I think he meant 1862. I mean, you know how old he is.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
Being real here.
Pretty old.
So the university, Delaware State University, of course, quickly confirmed that, right? They said, you're right, he got it started.
They did the opposite. They said, no, he never went here. So even they said no on that. And then when Trump called him out on it, it was that night or the next night at the debate, Biden lied about it. Check this out.
He panicked or he just looked at the stock market. One of the two, because guess what? A lot of people died. And a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So, Mr. President? Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years you've done nothing.
That's great stuff.
Yeah, I really wish Trump would use the line he used one time during that debate. I wish that would become a campaign slogan. I've done more in 47 months than you've done in 47 years.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's true. So, he should use it early and often. Now, what's really sad about this is that apparently Biden's numbers doubled after that debate. He did not win that debate. I don't know that anybody won it. It was just it was cluster fun. And
Cluster fun.
We all know it. And so the first debate did not really go well. But for Joe Biden to add 7 points to his lead and be up by 14 now, I don't understand that.
Yeah, America definitely lost that night for sure. And Pat Heads actually want us to turn the cluster fun phrase into
a T-shirt.
A T-shirt idea. I don't know that we could get it done, but I mean, there's one individual, Nathan Nichols.
So when is an evening of cluster fun T-shirt going to be available? Actually, we are talking about some form of cluster fun being included.
Rob came up with this one here. An evening of cluster fun featuring the images of President Trump and idiot Joe Biden.
Okay.
But we will try to get something going. See, maybe just join in the cluster fun. You see, the Pat Gray Unleashed option. So we'll try to get something like that in the store. But yeah, it's these debates. And now, the next presidential debate. So you've got the vice presidential debate is Wednesday night of this week, right? Or is it next this week? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's this week.
Oh, boy. That'll be fun. Cluster fun. So, and then October 15th, which is exactly 14 days from the diagnosis of COVID for the president, that's when we're supposed to have the second presidential debate.
That's going to be a tough one to make happen.
What is going to happen?
I don't think we'll have it. I don't think there's going to be a second debate.
You think there'll be, not at all? Do you think they'll skip ahead to the third one? Or do you think there'll be
I'm not sure we're going to do any more debates. I think they found a way out, and I think they'll take it. That's what I'm afraid of. And we need a second debate. He needs to get back in this thing and get on top of it. Because I'm not sure that happened. Well, it obviously didn't happen. 2-1. By 2-1, people think Biden won that debate.
I think by default, just the fact that it was such
cluster fun.
Cluster fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just too bad because there was a lot of opportunity there.
Exactly. That's the problem.
To take advantage of. And I think he did himself a disservice by talking so much over Biden. Even though both of them did it, he is the one who got most of the blame. And Chris Wallace gave him all the blame, which pissed me off.
Yeah. We're less than a month out from Election Day. Obviously, some people will be allowed to vote up to 2 weeks after. Pennsylvania, Michigan, we're looking at you. Do you have a prediction on what the map is going to look like when the dust settles in May of 2021 and they finally get all the votes counted and stuff?
No idea.
No idea.
I have no idea.
I'm right there with you.
No
In fact,
idea.
I posted...
Anything could happen.
On my Twitter, I posted a link to where you can do your own customizable electoral map.
Yeah.
I encourage people to go and play around with the states at 270 to win. It's fun. It's not fun at all.
Doesn't sound fun. No, it doesn't sound fun.
See what you think is going to happen.
I don't think I want to know. Let's just let it happen. Let's just let it unfold and surprise me on November.
Yeah, I will say there are two very important states that are not trending well. Pennsylvania and Florida are
Florida's not trending well? I thought Trump was up in Florida.
Drifting toward Joe now. And
is that since the debate or
yeah.
Really? Not good.
I'm scared, Pat. Will you hold me, please?
That's not good. No, I shan't. I shan't
Really?
be holding you.
I thought if anything I could get him to do it for that.
No.
So I'm very nervous. I'm not going to lie
I am
to you.
too.
I don't like it. And we're less than a month out now.
Who was it? I saw a headline today on Fox early this morning that, it was Beto O'Rourke, says that Texas is Biden's to lose. That can't be true, right? I mean, I haven't seen an actual poll from Texas for a few weeks.
If Biden gets Texas,
then it's
going to make 1984.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the rest of that sentence planned out. It's a mess, man. Come on, that's not true. Do you trust Beto O'Rourke?
No.
Do you honestly think Texas is in play?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
What do you mean think so?
I don't think
not.
so.
No.
It can't be, right?
Cannot be.
Because if it is, that's a total disaster for the election. It's an absolute disaster. President Trump has to win Texas. He has to.
Why are we are having to have this conversation?
I know. It's crazy. Let me take a minute, tell you about Scoremaster. Did you know the average American has 97 points they can add to their credit score, but they have no idea how to get them? Well, that's where ScoreMaster comes in. It's the new credit science that super boosts your credit score. Forget raising your score just a few points. That's weak, and it doesn't help you. The average ScoreMaster user raises their credit score 61 points in 20 days or less. 61 points. So, say your credit score is in the mid 500s to low 600s, or the high 500s to mid 600s even when you bought your new car. If you'd gone to ScoreMaster first and raised your credit score just the average 61 points our listeners get, you could have saved $9,000 on your car loan. And if you'd gone to ScoreMaster before applying for a home loan and raised your score just the average 61 points our listeners get, you could have saved almost $100,000 over the life of that loan. ScoreMaster puts you in control of your finances, not the banks, and you enroll in just minutes. See how many plus points ScoreMaster can add to your credit score. Visit scoremaster.com/Pat. That's scoremaster.com. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Roger Summy tweets, if Washington, D.C. becomes a state, could it also be a district? Guess they'll have to rename it the Washington State team. The Washington State football team.
Oh, yeah, I see it. I got it now.
Or will it be the District of Columbia football team? I don't know. The State of Columbia. Is that what it's going to be?
You might be honest. Because they well, first of all, you can't do Washington.
It's already taken.
Plus the left hates George Washington. They wouldn't even consider it. And so I think you're right.
State of Columbia.
Gross.
Kara 3022 in the Biden Delaware State video. Where he claims to have gone to Delaware State.
Oh, yeah, the all-black college.
Look at the reaction of the girl behind Biden's left shoulder. Oh,
I
all
got
right.
started out of an HBCU, Delaware State. Now, I don't want to hear anything negative about Delaware State here, okay? They're my folks. But all kidding aside,
they're his folks.
HBCUs are in trouble financially.
Yeah, I missed it. He was kind of in front of her the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and she's lucky, right, that he was in front of her and not the other way around, because he would have been doing some sniffing and touching and whatnot if she was in front of the. It's a joke about how Joe Biden touches women
inappropriately
all the time, and girls.
Yes.
YouTube doesn't want you to know that, by the way.
No, they don't.
Yeah. Or actually, YouTube doesn't mind. It's Twitter that blocks.
Did Twitter take it down?
No, Twitter blocks you from being able to post C-SPAN footage, raw C-SPAN footage of Joe Biden interacting with
that 8-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, with 15 minutes of 8-year-old girls. Mm-hmm. And they're saying it's exploitation of children, which they are in effect admitting that Joe Biden
has an issue. He's got a problem. Yeah, if they're calling it child abuse, then that kind of tells you a lot, doesn't it? Huh. Because otherwise, what's the problem there?
Yeah, if there's nothing bad going on, then why are you blocking this? Why are you disabling Twitter accounts when they post the video
Twitter sucks.
It is raw C-SPAN footage.
Just unbelievable.
Of the guy who is in the lead for the presidency.
Hey, an NBA player has actually spoken out against China. And so, his career's over. Watch for the Utah Jazz to sometime between now and next season trade Rudy Gobert or cut him from the team, and then he flounders and goes to China. Well, he can't go to China because that's who he spoke out against.
Oh, snap.
How dare he?
You allowed to do that and be in the NBA?
No, you're not, actually. Gobert, of course, the setter for the Utah Jazz, shared an Instagram post on Thursday on his story and wrote, "Wrong is wrong." According to an article published by Outkick, once clicked into, the Instagram post explains the situation happening to the Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps in China. What? You can't talk about that in the NBA because China funds the NBA. The NBA gets too much money from China. You can't say anything bad about China. What are you doing, Rudy?
That's right. Oh, by the way, speaking of the NBA, since we are on the We Hope LeBron James Falls on His Face watch, the Miami Heats, they won last night against LeBron's Lakers So it's 2-1.
Okay.
LA in the NBA Finals.
And are they playing? They're playing the finals all in one place.
Yep, Orlando.
Right.
Yep.
In Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but, I mean, how would you know?
Neither is the home team,
How would you know? I mean, like if an NBA Finals falls in the forest,
and nobody sees it.
right? Did it really happen?
I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't know. I accidentally wound up on the station that was broadcasting the game, and when I found out it was the NBA Finals, I very quickly got off that because
my gosh.
I didn't want anybody to accidentally monitor me watching the NBA because I wasn't.
It's a good thing you didn't lose the remote. That would be a nightmare. It's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? I can't find the remote. It's okay. No.
I got to get off the NBA
There's
game.
basketball on. Oh, by the way, your Packers, my Falcons tonight.
That's right.
That'll be fun, won't it?
Won't it be fun?
It'll be cluster fun.
It's kind of weird because not only is there that game, there's another game that was postponed from the weekend till tonight.
Yes.
And they're playing. One starts at 7,
Yeah,
right?
Central Time. Yep. Chiefs
and the
Patriots.
other at 7:50.
That'd be Falcons Packers.
They're competing against each other on Monday night.
Welcome to 2020. Isn't it fun?
Bizarre.
It
That's
is
just
fun. Yeah.
Really weird.
So it'll work out nicely for those that are interested. The Chiefs and Patriots game will wrap up. There'll be about an hour or so left in the Falcons-Packers game. You'll flip it over. You'll see the Falcons up huge on the Packers, just in time to watch the
Packers come back and beat them.
Inevitable collapse by the Falcons. So it'll be a good night for football.
It'll be great. It'll be great. Oh, by the way, over the weekend, BYU Cougars went up 7 spots in the AP poll. Oh, AP and UPI or whoever. It's not UPI anymore.
So what, you're 15 in one
AP and
poll?
USA Today coaches poll. We're 15 in both polls.
Okay.
15.
I saw the one.
Yeah. Another devastating win, 45-14 over Louisiana Tech. And people seem to be loving them. A lot of sports writers talking about them.
I actually saw a headline that said, keep your eye on sneaky BYU or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Oklahoma, by the way, first time since
lost 2 games already, right?
Yeah, the first time they've lost back-to-back games since 1999.
Warning.
Oh no!
This segment contains spoilers for the thing.
Cody, I'm
Listener
sorry.
and viewer discretion is advised.
Cody, we beg your forgiveness there because that took us a long time to get into
if
that.
you've been saving the big BYU Louisiana Tech game to watch, sorry. Sorry about that, Cody. Anyway, you were saying.
I was just saying Oklahoma, first time they've had back-to-back losses since 1999.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, let's see. Texas lost to TCU and a little collapse there at the end. Something else big happened. I don't know. Anyway,
so this weekend, BYU plays the University of Texas.
Okay.
San Antonio. The University of Texas.
I'm sorry,
San Antonio.
You're dropping out when you're saying
I am?
BYU.
No, they're playing the University of Texas.
Okay.
In San Antonio. So that should be a big one. Big one.
Is there an issue with Pat's mic? Because something's happening whenever he says who BYU plays.
I don't know what's happening. They're playing the University of Texas, San Antonio, this Saturday afternoon at 2:30.
Where's the game?
Provo, Utah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not
it's
in Austin.
No, it's not in Austin.
Because why would it be?
Why would it be when they're from San Antonio?
Is that the Roadrunners?
Yeah, it's the Roadrunners.
Oh, nice. That's a great nickname. I love it.
3-1 UTSA Roadrunners.
That's
who it is. You can throw out the record books when those two get together.
So
they never have before.
Your BYU piecemeal schedule is now really paying dividends for you.
It is. Right.
Because you've got a great team. You've said this. Right. And now you've got cupcakes. I mean, teams that that maybe you're better than.
Yes.
All lined up for you. What's your hardest one? Boise State?
After this weekend, we got Houston.
Is that
Houston
a tough one?
should be
pretty good?
Yeah, they're pretty good. And then we got Boise State. And at the end of the season, we have San Diego State. So there's 2 pretty decent games.
Okay.
Boise State's a really good game, I think. I mean, they might as well be a P5. That's a good matchup.
Yeah, Nebraska opens up with Ohio State on the road. We've got Penn State. We got Wisconsin.
Please beat those teams for us.
Sure, we'll
beat those teams for us.
We'll get right on that starting October
great.
24th. It's just we're gonna roll right through our schedule. Go Nebraska.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome to it. Oh, by the way, we were just talking football a minute ago. Forgot to mention.
Oh, no.
More on trivia.
That's right.
Not correct.
Almost.
Picked the Cowboys, but the Cowboys, despite their furious comeback, I mean, they were down by, 84 points or something. Came back and...
Yeah, 84. You're right.
84 points.
And they got within 3.
And then they lost. So
So
Browns beat the Cowboys. Cowboys are in a kind of a bad way right now.
Well,
what are they? 1-2?
1-3.
1-3.
Thank you, Atlanta Falcons.
Ouch.
But first place in that division. See, somebody's got to make the playoffs from that division. Are the
True.
Eagles? Stu's Eagles, who
won yesterday.
They won last night, so they're 1-2-1, and
Okay.
that's good enough for first place in the NFC East.
It's sad. It's sad and pathetic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Got some tweets here. Free exercise tweets. When was the last time Bob Frank Beto was right about something? Come on, Pat.
That's right.
So Texas not in play for Biden?
Okay,
You're saying there?
hope not.
Okay. All right. I hope you're right. I don't think it is either, but it is 2020. So
Come on, man.
Tampa Ken tweets, State of Columbia, Columbus, racist.
Oh, Christopher. Yes.
Right. That's right.
That was short-sighted by us.
Jason Kirkpatrick. How many times have you been tagged on this, Keith?
Oh, my God.
8,000?
At least.
We are officially in the fourth quarter of 2020. I hope we're playing the Falcons. Yeah, we're not, though. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
We're not playing the Falcons. Keith found a really cool video here. We've been talking sports a little bit.
Are you going to play an animal video?
No, this is a sports video, but it's also historic. This is confirmation
Yeah.
by Lou Gehrig and his actual voice. This is actually Lou Gehrig confirming that Babe Ruth did call his shot.
Yeah, for almost 100 years now, there's been question,
Yeah.
did Babe really call his shot in the 32 World Series, I think it was? No way. And somebody's doing a book. They're researching for Lou Gehrig, and they unearthed this audio from NBC Radio.
Never before heard audio clip. Listen to this.
October 6th, 1932, NBC Radio.
Fleischmann's Yeast Hour?
Oh, yeah. I don't miss an episode.
One of the leading exponents of my favorite sport, a local boy who made good in a big way. The man Chicago pitchers love to hate. Mr. Lou Gehrig, step right up and take a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lou Gehrig.
Thank you, Rudy. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I would like to say a few words on my favorite topic. That said topic being a gent by the name of George Herman Ruth. What a man.
What a man.
The Babe and I got back to town an hour ago from an all-day fishing trip out on the south shore of the Long Island Sound. Between weekfish, the gang did a lot of reminiscing about the series, and everybody agreed that the high point of the whole works was Babe's homer in the 5th inning of the 3rd game out in Chicago.
Whole works.
I've played a lot of baseball, but I have never seen so much nerve on display before. Babe had 2 strikes on him. There were 50,000 Cub fans giving him the old Bronx cheer, and the Cub players were riding him from the field. So what does he do? He stands up there and tells the world that he's going to sock that next one. And not only that, but he tells the world right where he's going to sock it, into the center field stand.
Yes!
A few seconds later, the ball was just where he pointed, in the center field stand. He called his shot and then made it. I ask you, what can you do with a guy like that?
How great is that?
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
It's the only contemporary audio account of Ruth's called shot known to exist. Huh. Gehrig was actually on deck when Ruth hit the famous homer off Cubs' Charlie Root. That's really something.
And then Gehrig hit the next pitch for a home run as well.
And then sadly, a few years later, Lou Gehrig bizarrely came down with the Lou Gehrig disease. I mean, what are the odds that a guy named Lou Gehrig would contract Lou Gehrig's disease?
Should have seen it
so
coming,
weird.
quite frankly.
I guess. He was just predestined. I don't know. Really weird, though. Really, really weird. Isn't it? I mean, don't you think that's amazing?
I mean, what are the odds, right?
What are the odds? They're bad. I would think they're astronomical, but apparently not.
You would think that, but no.
888-900-3393. You would also think that Uncle Ben's might be a pretty innocuous name to have for your rice.
Not this year.
But not now, no. Mars will change the name. So Mars owns Uncle Ben's?
Oh, wow.
How about that? Mars will change the name of its Uncle Ben's rice products to Ben's Original and drop the logo depicting a Chicago head waiter as part of the company's previously announced plans to create a more inclusive brand.
So dumb.
Because there's nothing less inclusive than somebody named Uncle Ben who sells rice, I guess. I don't get it, but for some reason people are upset by it, apparently, or someone was, maybe one person in the world, I don't know. The revamped Ben's products, which feature the same blue font and orange packaging, will hit the shelves next year, 2021. The transition from Uncle Ben's to Ben's Original comes amid, of course, the broader movement about racial equality. Nothing says inequality like Uncle Ben, does it? No. Not having a black man on a box of rice. I honestly don't understand the problem there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody can explain it to me because I don't get it. Well, I really don't understand.
And after our society eliminates black figures on food products and labels and stuff like that, give it a few more years, and the cry will be, where's the black and minority representation on food labels and products? Right. Where's that?
Well, we eliminated them, remember, because there were racial stereotypes in all of those foods.
What do you want?
Yeah. In June, the food companies that make Uncle Ben's, Aunt Jemima, cream of wheat? Wait, what was the problem with cream of wheat?
I don't know, but it's got a black dude on it, so there's your problem.
Oh, my gosh. And Mrs. Butterworth's all said they're going to retire or rebrand their products.
We don't even know what color Mrs. Butterworth
No
is.
idea. No, she's like shaped like a bottle, right?
She's bottle shaped. And I guess because the syrup is of a dark color, then
she must be too.
Get her out!
Wow.
We're in hell. This is madness, man. Everywhere. Every crevice of society is infected.
Mars Rice brand was named in the 1940s for Uncle Ben, a possibly fictitious black rice farmer from Texas, supposedly renowned for his high-quality crop. It featured the face of Frank Brown, head waiter at an exclusive Chicago restaurant who posed for the Uncle Ben's portrait, according to an archived page. Now, I understand Uncle Ben's family and Aunt Jemima's too. Both of them loved the fact that they were on the packaging. They liked it. I don't think any of the family had any problem.
I know that for a fact on the Aunt Jemima front. Glenn Beck down the hall here, he tells that story, or he told it about a couple months ago. But notice that last line you just read. They had to go to an archived page on the internet to find this story about
Uncle Ben. The company said it didn't even know if there was an actual Uncle Ben. This is ridiculous. There's no place for anything in this world that hints at social injustice, though, a company spokesperson said. The privately held food and pet products company also will partner with the National Urban League and donate $2 million to a scholarship fund for aspiring black chefs. The company will donate another $2.5 million to educational programs and food access efforts within the community of Greenville, Mississippi, where the products have been manufactured for 4 decades. All right, well, good. That's good. I think that's really...
What do you think?
I think it's good.
Do you?
Yeah, I think, good, Also, Berkeley is the first city in the U.S. to ban junk food in checkout lanes. Berkeley is gearing up to become the first city in the nation to ban junk food from the checkout line in grocery stores. In a unanimous vote last week, the Berkeley City Council passed the Healthy Checkout Ordinance.
Yay.
Okay. If the city council has the authority to tell grocery stores what to put in their checkout lanes, does anybody have a problem with that in the United States of America? Because I do. I give you the finger, like my thumb, to the city council. I
you're
just,
giving a
yeah, hey.
thumb up?
But no, thumb down.
Thumb down.
Yeah, thumb down.
Okay, but that's, I mean, hate to
That's
catch
a finger
on
I was gonna give
technicality.
him.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's not really technically a finger.
Okay, that's true.
So really, there's
So
only
true.
a 1 in 4 chance that you're talking about. What finger are we going with? We're number one.
Let me just tell you this. In a unanimous vote last week, they passed the Healthy Checkout Ordinance, and come March 21st, 2021,
okay,
when the measure is set to take effect, large grocery stores in the California city will be prohibited from selling food and beverages deemed unhealthy in a 3-foot radius from the checkout.
Oh no! There's gonna be like circles around your register in Berkeley.
You do not have the authority. I'm sorry. No. You can stick that somewhere because we're not doing it.
Yeah.
It's not really a ban. It's a nudge.
Oh.
Co-sponsor of the ordinance, council member Kate Harrison told Fox Business, "What we've discovered is that this law enforces good behavioral economics and facilitates better choices."
Oh my goodness.
They know better than you do.
Oh my goodness, they are out of control.
Yeah. Well, with the food right there, you're powerless over it. And so you need the progressive city council to tell you, no, we got to take that out of your site so that you don't buy that kind of stuff. Because you don't know any better than to buy it.
We have said it time and time again.
They're the rancher, we're the cattle.
Well, that, and I am waiting to be proven wrong. Other than the choice to murder a baby in the womb, where does the left give you the freedom of choice?
They don't.
It's not at the register now.
Right. Jeez. What they'll do instead of the checkout line is set up a little abortion booth there for you so that if you're pregnant,
Don't
you
give
can
them
stop
ideas.
right
Stop
there
it. Stop it.
and go ahead and take that baby out of your womb. Right
No,
there.
Don't give them ideas, man. Because they got, no, I'm thinking, no, images in my head, not good.
This ban will eliminate items that contain more than 5 grams of added sugar or over 250 milligrams of sodium per serving. Items like chips, candy bars, soda, or other processed foods will be replaced with healthier alternatives like pita chips, hummus, health bars, and milk.
No, now they're into torture in Berkeley?
Come on.
Why don't you just set up the registers in the produce area?
Seriously, that will hurt the grocery store sales. And I would tell them to stick it because I wouldn't be doing that. You don't have the authority to tell me where to place my food items in a grocery store. You don't have that authority. How is nobody opposing that?
Well, it's Berkeley, so they probably love it. Wow. The people in Berkeley are probably like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, thanks for looking out for me and my healthy choices.
Yeah, hummus at the checkout line. That's going to be great.
Oh, you know what? The citizens of Berkeley were probably on board with this from the beginning, and they probably had city council meetings. You come and voice your opinion, and people, what would you like to see in the checkout lines at the Berkeley grocery stores? And hummus was probably the top of the list.
Probably.
Pita chips was second.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think else was on that list? Probably avocados. Of course, in Berkeley, you got to have your
health bars.
Health bar. Oh yeah, got
milk.
Health bar, milk, but definitely.
I got some cattle. I'm driving to the town.
Organic milk though, and definitely not from cows, not from animals. Like
Yeah. Do you know
soy milk?
Humans are the only species that drink the milk of some other animal.
That's kind of
creepy, know that?
Right?
It's probably because humans are about the only ones who can make that happen. Okay, but that's a fact, and that's what they'll tell you.
I mean,
that's why they'll tell you it's unnatural for us to be doing that.
Well,
no, it's just that we can. Other people can't homogenize the milk that comes from other species. Okay, we can, and so we do.
I don't know if it's from growing up with Far Side cartoons in my world, but I'm imagining a cow now in a field standing up and holding a little calf and feeding it a milk bottle with
human milk
from humans.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
because you know why?
Why is
it's
that?
not because it's unnatural.
Sure.
It's because they can't. They can't do it. That's why they won't.
Yeah.
So
Moo.
just a little
yak.
a little bit of information for you there.
That's good. Yeah. We are still. I mean,
We have some abilities that other species don't.
I hesitate to say this. We're still the superior species.
Yeah, barely.
But it's it's a photo finish.
Yeah, that's true.
At this point.
Not only are we the only species that can use other species' milk in our daily lives, we're the only species that has developed an airplane and can fly. I don't know if you're aware of that. No other species has done that either. Only humans.
Cows
fly airplanes. Cows are not flying planes.
They're
not. No, they're not. That's weird.
There's going to be.
They don't drive cars. They don't fly planes. They don't operate heavy machinery. We're the only ones that do any of that.
It says you.
It says me.
I mean,
yes.
And there's still time. They
still
can figure
time.
this out.
Maybe they'll get to the moon before we do a second time. I don't know. Maybe they'll make it to Mars before we do.
I mean, they
cattle or horses or apes. I don't know.
Cows are already telling us to eat more chicken.
That's true.
So they're already nudging us in the. But good luck.
We are being nudged.
Good luck getting to space without opposable thumbs. That's right. But going back to Berkeley in these checkout aisles. Come on, let's noodle this out. What else are you going to see in the checkout aisle at Berkeley? Probably tofu.
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
Is
Absolutely.
seaweed
tofu.
like some weird healthy alternative? Remember McDonald's had that
it seems like it.
burger?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know.
I don't think that was a
Seaweed
healthy
chips.
thing. I think that was a cost-cutting thing.
Cost-cutting thing?
Yeah,
we should
I
get
think they got
Stu in
some
here.
trouble for
He's
that.
a borderline vegan. What were you saying, Martin?
Borderline
Seaweed
vegan?
chips?
Seaweed chips? Oh, is that a thing?
I believe so,
Don't they love like
Okay.
hemp flax or like I don't know,
Avocado toast.
Avocado
What about
toast. Yeah.
avocado toast?
You got it. Yeah, but
Ick.
some weird stuff on that menu.
Also, Subway sandwiches contain too much sugar to legally be considered bread.
No. What now?
Ireland's Supreme Court just made that ruling. The Supreme Court ruled that sandwiches made by Subway in Ireland contain too much sugar to be legally considered bread. The ruling arose from an appeal from the Bookfinders Limited, a Subway franchisee, which claimed that it should not have to pay a VAT tax.
Oh, the value-added tax. Those are fun.
As many products it sells are staple foods and should attract a 0% VAT tax. Okay.
Help us.
However, the 5-judge court
Yep.
ruled that the sandwiches must attract a rate of VAT due to its sugar content. The law states that for bread to be considered a staple product and not attract a value-added tax, it shall not exceed 2% of the weight of flour included in the dough.
Oh, shut up. So here's what's happening.
Subway's bread has a 10% ratio.
They are...
That's crazy.
So it's basically a junk food tax. And
Yes.
they're saying that Subway bread doesn't get to count as bread. We get to tax it with this...
You know what the rate is, too? 13.5%. It's unbelievable. Wow. The judges rejected the argument, agreeing that it was clear that once the allowed percentage was exceeded for any one ingredient, the bread lost the 0% rate.
Listen to this formula. It's
Jeez.
madness, man.
13.5%. Just because it has more sugar than the government wants you to eat.
So you think...
It's hard to take, isn't it?
You think when you enact something like a value-added tax, they're never going to come for the bread.
And yet, they did.
The cows, man, I'm telling you, they're this
They may
close
take over.
to passing us
They
up.
may take over. It could happen at any moment. I was just reading an article about how smart they are. Apparently, they're really smart.
Yeah.
Cattle.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I got some cattle. I'm driving to the town.
Well, not smart enough to avoid climbing into the truck on the way to the meat grinder.
No, thank goodness.
Still
Because
there.
I still want them to wind up in my fridge, and they do. Okay. Also, from Kraft, they're offering limited edition pumpkin spice mac and cheese this fall. Okay, now you've gone too far.
Now the cows have passed us.
This is official, yeah. Yeah, that's official. We're the only species that can do a limited edition pumpkin spice mac and cheese. Yeah, and we shouldn't be doing that, okay? We should not be doing it.
Right?
Look at that.
That is
Pumpkin spice mac and cheese. Why? How would that be good? After testing their pumpkin spice mac and cheese north of the border, Kraft is bringing the autumn-themed concoction to the U.S. in limited quantities.
Oh, the Canadians are on board, so we should be. Oh, there's a good justification.
After seeing the huge response pumpkin spice mac and cheese received north of the border, and even hearing some heated debates about it down here, we had to bring it to the U.S. for Americans to try. Who knows? Maybe it could become a new North American fall favorite.
Okay, so this tests what we said earlier. You should have the right to try it, right?
Yes.
Freedom of choice.
Sure.
There's no way I'm gonna like this. Gross.
They added hints of nutmeg. Wow, to mac and cheese. This sounds pretty strange.
Yeah.
Hints of nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, and ginger to its traditional cheese powder.
Okay. No.
Now through Tuesday, Kraft is offering people in the U.S. a chance to win 1,000 limited edition pumpkin spice Kraft mac and cheese products by using hashtags pumpkin spice KMC sweepstakes.
Okay, that's a little wordy for a hashtag. I'd like to point out.
As well as Kraft mac and cheese on Twitter. Nope.
Okay, so again, it's limited edition.
Yes. So you got to get there quickly.
Well, I think it's limited edition because they know everyone's going to think it sucks. They're like, let's say it's limited edition because ain't no way this is going to catch on.
I don't see how it could, quite frankly. But
I did add, though, ironically enough, I had some mac and cheese yesterday, and I added like a citrus lemon pepper type flavoring to it.
Yeah.
I will say that worked out
good?
nicely.
Really?
But I'm not doing this
Not
pumpkin,
doing the pumpkin
spice
spice?
mac and cheese. That's insanity.
Well, we've gone way too far.
And the
on
cows
pumpkin spice
are
thing.
obviously, now it's official. They're in charge.
Yes.
And they should be.
They should be.
We've laid out evidence in the last 10 minutes to show that
They
the
should
cows
be.
should be controlling us at this point.
By the way, speaking of control, pandemic crowd and traffic control measures being taken in London are an absolutely perfect indication of what I believe is to come. The City of London's traffic light streets, they're light on traffic. They are trying, of course, they want this to last beyond the pandemic. So they're taking steps to make that happen now.
Okay.
Rules introduced over the summer to maintain social distancing in the financial district have seen wider footpaths, driving lanes narrowed, and in some cases, timed road closures. And they've already said we're going to keep going afterwards because it already lessened the traffic in London. This is exactly what they want. This is their plan. As we reboot after this pandemic, they think it's the perfect time now to institute all the things they've been striving for. On climate change, on socialism, you name it, this is their big chance. And they're already taking advantage of it in London by disallowing you to drive the streets of London. If you don't think this is coming to the United States of America as well, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed because it will.
You think the cows will implement that? Is that what you're
I think
suggesting?
the cattle will implement that, yeah. Yeah, I do think so. So watch for the cows to be putting up roadblocks in major thoroughfares.
Bring it, I don't care
all
anymore.
over the U.S.
Sure.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.